Most people think Delaware is just some tax haven state with a couple beaches. But let me tell you, after 8 years of working with hundreds of clients moving into Delaware, one thing is for certain. Delaware either clicks for you or it doesn't. In this video, I'm gonna give you the 3 types of people that thrive in Delaware, the 3 types of people that probably shouldn't move to Delaware, and the 3 things people wish they knew before making their way to the great first state. And if you stick around to the end, I'll give you my 3 best tips on the best place to move, the best home to buy, and the best builder if you're considering new construction in Southern Delaware. Let's start with who Delaware is for. The people who are moving to Delaware are often moving to Delaware for one of 3 reasons. We're either moving here for money, proximity, or pace. Let's start with money. Financial benefits in Delaware are no secret. We have some of the lowest property taxes in the entire country. I believe we're ranked 41st on that list. We also have 0% shopping tax. That's huge. You're ordering on Amazon, you're buying a pizza, you're buying a scooter. Maybe you want a scooter. No shopping tax. And that's huge at the end of the day because when you culminate all of your payments throughout the entire year, gas, gum, something else that starts with a G, you're going to have taxes accumulate and take away from that hard-earned money that you are making. The other financial benefit, aside from the taxes, is also the home prices. Now, we're not a discount bin, as I will get into later. We're not a discount bin. We're not the Dollar General of states, but what we are is, compared to our neighbors, a very affordable option to live in. Gonna have Zillow pulled up right here, even though you can look at loftteamde.com to see Delaware listings. On Zillow, we can see prices in around Maryland being in the 400 to 450K range on median. Southern Jersey, home prices are well above 500K on a normal day. And let's not get started looking at New York City, the boroughs, Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, very expensive in comparison, especially to Southern Delaware. And if mortgage rates are going to remain high and cost of living and things are becoming expensive nationwide, why wouldn't you move somewhere where your high mortgage rate is at least going to be on a cheaper home? Again, not a discount bin, but definitely more affordable than some of our more expensive neighbors. Second reason, proximity. People love Delaware for our proximity to things to do outside of Delaware. And I know that sounds counterintuitive. Why would you move somewhere that you actively want to leave? But Delaware is known for its proximity to Philadelphia, New York City, Jersey, DC, Annapolis, Baltimore, Ocean City, Maryland, and Ocean City, Jersey. The Cape May Ferry can get you right over to Cape May in New Jersey. There's a lot of things in or around us that allow us to be close to the fun without having the financial debts of being right on top of the fun. Because we know the closer you are to the fun, the more expensive it is to live there. I'll also add on top of that micro proximity. For me, living in Milford, Delaware puts me in perfect proximity to the beaches of Delaware without having to physically be on top of the beaches. Yes, am I driving 20 minutes to get to Target? Absolutely. But guess what? That 20 minutes is 20 miles. If you're somewhere where there's a lot of gridlock, a lot of traffic, 20 minutes might be getting you 2 miles. I personally like being able to be close to everything without having to be on top of it. And the third reason people move to Delaware, specifically Southern Delaware, is the pace. The pace of moving into Delaware and living in Delaware is so much different. If you're looking for clubs and you're looking for lounges, probably not going to be the place you want to go to. It is a slower paced lifestyle where sunsets and trails and fishing are definitely more prevalent than going out and getting bottle service or being at a rooftop bar. So if you want to move here because it's going to be more affordable, if you want to move here because you're going to have a better proximity to everything around without being on top of it, and if you're a slow soul, you just want to be able to go on a walk, go see a sunset, go to a state park. They're beautiful, by the way. Delaware might be the right option for you, as it has been for hundreds of clients before and many that will come after. But let's get into who it's not for, because that's very important. Now, if you already know that it is for you, stay to the end. I'm going to have the best builder, best home, and best location for you. But let's start with who it's not for. Now, to know who shouldn't be moving to Delaware, we have to know the 3 things that they may be expecting, or maybe you're expecting, that are not here. So the first is discounts, the second is profits, and the third is parties. We're gonna start with discounts. I was on the phone with a gentleman the other day who is selling his home in Virginia, Northern Virginia. So they're selling their home for in around $650,000, $700,000. It's on the market, is getting offers and they're planning their next steps. Now, here's where it got a little funky for us on the phone because he told me, Zach, we're getting offers and we're coming to Delaware. And I was pumped. I was like, that's awesome. You're coming to Delaware. How much are you making on the sale? So, we're going to make about $250K once we pay off our mortgage. And that's great. You're going to have $250K. You can get pre-approved. But that's when he hit me with, we don't want to have a mortgage. We're coming to Delaware to spend our $250K and we don't want to have a mortgage. And that's where the conversation had to shift because I told him, listen, Delaware is not a discount bin. You are not finding a single family ready to move in home for $250,000. It's just not happening. And he wanted 4 bedrooms and an acre.
Nice try, Diddy.
If you're in Southern Delaware, we're at least talking $450 minimum for resale for something like that. New construction, $500, $600, it can go up quickly. We're not a discount bin. We're not insanely expensive. We are definitely not somewhere where you can walk in and find a $150K home, be hunky-dory and ready to go on with your life. Maybe if you called me 7 years ago, but if you have a time machine, let me know because that's pretty cool. That's probably the only time you could have done it. Last point I'll hit on the discounts. If you're scrolling loftteamde.com, which is available and free to click in our bio, you'll see that if we look up homes that are less than $200,000 in Southern Delaware, a lot of it's going to be land. A lot of it is going to be areas you may not want to be in, maybe areas that are really far from society, Laurel, or you're going to see what's called a land lease. And that is a 99-year lease that you pay on the dirt underneath your home that you'll never own. You own the property, you own the house, you own the shingles and the vinyl, but you do not own the dirt. It could be another $800,000 a month on top of your mortgage. So again, not a discount. Shifting from discounts, let's talk about profits. A lot of people look at Delaware and they see our friendly LLCs and they see our incredible property tax rates and they think, whoa, I should buy up 17 townhomes and completely undercut the families that are trying to get their first home so that I can rent them out and make a whopping profit. If that is you, please leave. I mean that respectfully. Don't do it. I'm a young man. I'm only 31 years old, and I've been in this business now for 8 years, having after got out of the military. And let me tell you, though the last time I was in a college campus, I was escorted out by security, I have many past college and military buddies that were able to buy a home over the last 8 years. But in the past few, investors have been beating them to the punch, forcing prices to go up and lowering supply of affordable housing. So if you're looking to make a killing off investing in real estate in Southern Delaware, I'm not saying you can't do it, but I'm also saying don't contact me because I'm more so the guy that helps you get your lifestyle going and helps create a better market here in Delaware, not one that's just flooded by people that want to make capital. All for money, but don't do it. Now, if you already got your money and you're looking to retire and party it up in your retirement, then Delaware might be a place to pump the brakes on. Now, listen, I've seen Margaritaville down there in Florida. Place looks fun. Can't lie. Looks like a really great time. Golf, pickleball, all the partying that you can do at the nighttime club. Delaware's not that place. We don't have lounges. We don't have rooftop bars. We don't have nightclubs. What we do have are cool community clubs of people at night who maybe on the beach or go to a trail or meet up for a farmer's market or a pickleball match or one of our incredible golf courses. We're really underrated golf course state, by the way. We got like 26 within a 30-mile radius. That's great. We're just not a party state. And if you want to have a bit of fun on an evening, maybe you can make your way to Dewey Beach. Maybe you could make your way into a concert when we have our jazz festival, but we don't have any big concert venues. We don't have these big things that people fly into Delaware for. We don't even have an airport. We don't have a lot of the high energy, real big, exciting, whoop whoop things. Your slow soul, like I said earlier, might be for you, but if you're ready to party it up, maybe go somewhere else. Not saying you can't come here, but it may not be the vibe for you. So we've covered who should come to Delaware and maybe who shouldn't come to Delaware, but what are the things that people wish they knew before moving to Delaware, whether or not they're gonna like it or not? To understand the 3 mistakes that are most commonly made by people who move into Delaware, we have to look at health, highways, and habitat. Also, again, if you want the best option for a builder, best option for location, home, it's gonna be at the end. Stay tuned. Can't believe I'm gonna tell this story, but it's one of the biggest mistakes I made early on in real estate. It was my first year, and I had someone call me from Zillow. Now, why this person called me on Zillow when I had 4 reviews and 7 past sales to move from their $750,000 house, which used to be a lot of money, by the way, to Delaware. I don't know why they called on me, but they did. And when they moved into Delaware, they were asking me a lot of questions about the state. They were coming from Connecticut. I gave them all the answers I knew I had, but ultimately I wasn't exactly asking if it was right for them. And one big thing that I haven't asked is what their retirement plans were. See, they had a husband who was going to be needing to be in hospice. And I didn't really question as to whether or not the home they were buying was going to be in an area that was going to be prevalent or even frankly an option. And by the time they got into Delaware and started shopping and got pre-approved and even had an offer accepted, it wasn't until then that they realized that there's nothing in the area for them. And that's one thing I would say to you. Even in 2025, as we shoot this, Delaware's infrastructure around long-term health facilities as well as senior medical care is lacking, to the point where our legislation here in the state of Delaware has actually brought up the idea of stopping building of residential units, barring new construction for a time, so that we can begin to upkeep, grow, and strategize around our medical infrastructure. We are lacking. I'll give you an example. Dover is our Bay Health facility that is right in the center of the state. Going down south, our next one will be in Milford. And then from there, you're gonna get all the way down to the beaches where BB's, an emergency care center for Bay Health, and the Seaford location, Nanacoke, are gonna be your next best options. These areas are all actively growing and facilitating in a massive amount of people. They need more. And if you're looking for health, if you're looking for hospitals, if you're looking for emergency rooms to be nearby you, look at the map before you buy. Do not just go buy in Blades, Delaware, thinking, I'm out in the country. And then when you have to go to the hospital, you're driving 52 minutes. I just advise looking into where they are and why they are where they're at. And I am going to give you a guide at the end that's going to have a map of all of the medical facilities in it. Stay tuned. That'll be in our best section, but just consider it is all I'm asking, because past me has made the mistake of not advising it. And whether or not you choose to utilize me as your trusted realtor when moving to Delaware doesn't mean that whoever you do trust shouldn't be asking those questions. Number 2, things people wish they knew. Highways. We only have 2 main ones. You'll hear US 95 up north, even 301 as you exit Middletown to get out to Annapolis, but let's focus on the south. We got Route 1, we got Route 13, and if you're feeling spicy, we can even talk about Route 113, which, if you guessed already, is a combination between the two. Now, living on the eastern side of Route 1, now I'm trying to think of the best way to compare this, but if you look at the map and look at Route 1, and you look at moving to the east side of Route 1, versus moving to, say, the west side of Route 13, I'm not exactly sure how to create an analogy on how different those areas are, but let me just say the difference between banjos and beaches is very dramatic. It is not going to be the same type of Delaware that you're expecting to see, and that's why the biggest mistake people make when they don't come down here first is look at where the highway proximity is going to be. You're going to want to be able to drive to and from north and south. You're going to want to be near one of these roadways. 113 actually travels down the middle of the south side of Delaware, whereas Route 1 focuses more on the east side, turns into Ocean Highway, and Route 13 is over on the west side, leaving Delaware once we get through areas of Laurel. Now, when I say banjos versus beaches, I'm not really joking. I'm talking about you're going from homes that are going to be in the 200 to 300K range and mortgageable because they're in areas that are far from a lot of community and areas that aren't the most high income areas on the planet and far from a lot of shops that maybe you want to be near. But when you get over into Lewis, Ocean View, Dagsboro, Bethany Beach, Dewey Beach, Harbison, Milton, you're seeing a completely different atmosphere. So again, looking into these areas and how close you're going to be to transit to a major highway is important. And a big mistake people make by not looking into it first. By the way, if you're looking for a hack, especially if you're looking to move to like northern Sussex County, southern Kent County, highly suggest being in between Route 1 and Route 13. I think on the north side, Frederica is a really cool area. Milton is a really cool area because you're in between the two. Really easy for transit. And number 3, people wish they knew about habitat. If you move to Milford, like I'm in right now, or move to Felton, where I was born and raised, or you go up to Dover, you go down to Milton, you're down in Long Neck. There's one thing that is absolutely for certain. We are clicky. I remember when we got started in real estate and we had our first office in Milford and we were getting shirts made. I had no clue, but because I decided to get our shirts made by somebody who operated their company in Dover, I was getting blackballed a bit because they were like, hey, you can't do that. You have to work with people that are here in Milford. You eat in Milford, you hang out in Milford, you go to the Milford events. You don't go to those other places. Don't go down to the beaches. They got their thing. Don't go up to Dover. They got their thing. And though I think there can be a line drawn, we are very cliquey. Our community events are spectacular. Our local bars and grills are very homey feeling, but that does come with the detriment of coming from out of state. If you come down with your Brooklyn accent and you're waving around your New Jersey flag, where's the best pizza? Y'all's pizza stinks. You're not going to get met with a ton of love, which, by the way, when you move down to Delaware, get those tags changed. You don't want to have those Jersey tags. People don't like that. It's just a habitat thing. And it's a mistake that people make when they move down here, thinking that it's going to be honky-dory and there's a lot of people that are just going to hug and love them. You may not get invited to the very first barbecue. But once you're in, you're in. We have a very strong community that very much loves Delaware and wants to see Delaware grow. And if that's who you are too, you want to see where you're at thrive and grow, don't be a NIMBY, people that hold back communities, you can Google it, and don't be the person who is just waving the flag of where they've come from and just bask in the place that you're in. Be a part of the new community you're in. Be a part of the habitat of Southern Delaware, because I promise it's a close-knit and fun one. Now, drum roll, please. We have talked about who should move to Delaware. We've talked about who shouldn't move to Delaware. Even the biggest mistakes that maybe you were about to make. Got you. I'm here for you. But let's talk about the best. What's the best town to move to, Zach? What's the best home I could buy? Who's the best builder in all of Southern Delaware? We're going to talk about it. Let's work backwards. I'm going to start with builder, and I'm going to start by saying the one builder you should avoid, and his name is Ryan. Am I legally allowed to say you cannot build with Ryan Homes, Pelican Point? No, I'm not legally allowed to make you buy or not buy, but one thing I can say is builders are known for cutting corners. Builders are known for trying to find the most profitable way to produce a product that can be purchased by you or I. Ryan has a habit of cutting the most corners. And though it is a local issue for a national brand, national brands being people like D.R. Horton, K. Hovnanian, Ryan Homes, they have local construction crews for a national brand. So Ryan just simply is not getting the best crews. People like D.R. Horton and K. Hovnanian actually have a much better name in this area. Shell Brothers, a premier builder in our area, more regionally focused on Delaware, has a great crew in our area. And we actually created a book. It's a PDF. It's 146 pages, so get ready to read, on every single neighborhood that's building in Southern Delaware. Every single one. We have all of them listed, all of them ranked by how we feel about them 1 through 5, what amenities do they have, what price can you expect, what's around them, food, golf, everything. It's so good. We call it our builder's guide. It's in the bio. It is free. Jump in there. Let us know if you have any questions about it. My number is going to be put on the screen right now. You can shoot me a text if you want to say, hey, we looked at Pelican Point. What do you think about Pelican Point? Or we looked at this neighborhood, the Fells, the 5 Circles. Got it. The best builder, in my opinion, is going to be Shell Brothers. But this document is going to allow you to make the decision for yourself with unbiased data that we source from professionals. The best home in Southern Delaware is actually going to be a home that doesn't have one of these 3 things. Number 1, I'm going to advise you against a basement, especially if you're building new or buying resale. If you're in our high water table area and you ain't ready to get some water in your basement, if you got one, get ready, because we are a wet state. And personally, I don't love the idea of having a basement in or around the beaches or lakes. Number 2, a newer roof on a home, because if you're buying a home that has an outdated roof in an area that is as windy in the coastal state of Delaware, yes, when you look at the map, you'll see that Jersey kind of hugs over about half of Delaware, but the bottom half is subject to coastal winds. And between the storms that we'll get, we even get snow during the winter, a roof is pivotal. In fact, most roofs are only going to last 25 to 30 years in our climate. Buying a home with an old roof is not a good call. And my third piece of advice on the best possible home to buy in the area is to buy just on the outskirts of the fun. Buy around the hot spots of the fun. You don't have to be in downtown Lewis. You don't have to be right on the boardwalk of Bethany. You can. You're gonna be in the 7 digits easily, multiple for those areas. But being in Harbison, being even in areas like Georgetown and being connected to the Georgetown-Lewis Trail, like one of my neighborhoods I like, you'll see in the guide, Monarch Glen. That's an awesome option to keep yourself 10 minutes outside and close, and now you're paying $500, $600K as opposed to 3.8 million, not thousand, 3.8 million for some of these areas in around Rehoboth, Lewis, Dewey, and Bethany. And the best town. My absolute favorite town when I think about, well, I'm going to give 2. I'm going to give the best place to live and then the best place to go. So the best place to live, in my opinion, is Milton. Why? It's on the outskirts of all the things that are growing. Milford is growing like a weed. It's the #1 growing city in all of Delaware. All the beaches, they love them. People love them. The economy's great. We get people that come in for tourism and all that. Yes, it creates traffic, but it brings in money. Area is growing. People are moving in. So those hot spots in or around these areas, like I mentioned, are gonna keep going up in value. Milton's one of them. It's just far enough off the beaten path, and the downtown is so cool. It's got a really quaint downtown, lots of fun restaurants, Tequila Reel, the Dough Bar, great little restaurants. They have an awesome movie theater. They do outdoor movies on their big brick wall too throughout the summer. Lakes, parks, love it. Best place to go once you're living in Milton, though, in my opinion, is gonna be the best beach. The best beach is Bethany. You're going to hear about Rehoboth. You're going to hear about Lewis. And by the way, it's not Lewes, it's Lewis, Lewes. But ultimately, my favorite for the boardwalk, the restaurants, the vibes, the events, and really everything, overall, it is the best overarching beach. It also has some of the best local golf. I like golf. Not great at golf, not good at golf, but I like golf. And you may like golf too. Bethany is going to be a really good option. It gets you a hop and a skip and a jump from even getting down to Ocean City, Fenwick Island, getting over into Ocean View is a really cool town. I love Bethany Beach as a beach. I love Milton as a town to move into. I grew up here. I raised a family here. Built a business here. We help people buy real estate. And if that's you, I would love to be able to serve you. But ultimately, the case is right here. The proof is in the pudding. It either clicks or it doesn't. It's either for you or it's not. And being that we just peaked over 1 million for our total state's population, the secret's starting to get out, but there's still a lot of room to grow. If you want to be a part of the growth of Delaware or even want to come check it out, feel free to shoot me a text. Feel free to check out our builder's guide to see which home or builder might be right for you. And as always, hit subscribe and like. It helps the YouTube algorithm to find more people like you who are considering making the move to the great first state of Southern Delaware. Have a great one.